So I'm delighted today to introduce Jeff from Building Forensic. And Jeff is actually an indoor environmental hygienist with decades of experience, as you're about to find out. And Jeff is going to be exhibiting at the event this weekend. And I would just like to throw open to Jeff to tell us why he's so excited. What have you got to offer the participants, people that come along to the event, Jeff? So over to you, Jeff.
Well, thanks, Mike. Great introduction. I've been involved with disaster recovery around the world for about 30 years. That takes in fires, floods, explosions, biological contamination, chemical contamination. So I cut my teeth on doing decontamination. And obviously when you decontaminate something, you need to prove that it's been decontaminated. So I've had to learn how to prove decontamination and, more importantly, prove the presence or absence or dilution of contamination. That led me into working with some of the best contractors in America, working with them in the United States Corps of Engineers, where I wrote certain decontamination protocols for big projects such as Kuwait in the Gulf, after the Gulf Wars. And they're still being used. And this is where I met the leading contractors from the United States. And they invited me over to the US, and I started to learn about their technology techniques, and saw that mold was becoming a major issue in the United States about 15 years ago, which is when I started to study in the United States with various organisations on assessment of mold, decontaminations and the health effects. I joined with the groups such as Dr. Rishi Schumacher, and became one of their panel of environmental hygienists and took part in their consensus document. Bringing this over to the UK has been a difficult journey because, first of all, there's few doctors that have studied and understand mold illness or building-related illness. And one of the main reasons I'm so excited about this conference is that nutritionists have taken a grip of these issues, whereas doctors, you know, the World Health Organization, for example, says if you've got a mold-related illness, you're better off going to see a vet, because vets get trained on mycotoxins and mold contamination in feeds and animal food stuff.
Right.
Whereas the nutritionists have grasped this, and they've seen that certain types of food and processes and reducing exposure can help their patients. One of the things that I'm really keen on and what I'm really excited about is that more and more and more the patients are starting to investigate themselves and finding some of the solutions, not the treatments, but the solutions in America, and they're joining web groups and starting to understand what their actual illness is about. And then they're turning to the nutritionists, who obviously can provide some solutions. My main issue at the moment is if you had a burnt hand and you went to a doctor and said, look, my hand's burnt, will you treat me? He'd give you some treatment. But if you said, I'm going to put my hand back in the fire when I go back home, he would say it's pointless. Well, this is very much the same as a building-related illness or a sick building syndrome, where someone's being treated for an illness and then they go back home and they're usually quite sick and spend an awful lot of time in their home breathing in or being exposed to airborne contaminants, surface contaminants. So I'm seeing that there's a huge benefit of working with nutritionists and someone like myself who can assist the people in decontaminating their home or their contents, and the nutritionist protocols will work more effectively. One of the main issues for me is that you know, I'm pretty blunt and pretty old in the tooth, and I haven't got a lot of time for chit chat and sales talk. I'll you know, if people annoy me, I'm afraid I'll tell them, and And you know, it's difficult because lots of people want to know, but they don't realise that to know, they've got to go through a huge training program. I'm not selling program. I'm not selling training programs. I'm not selling anything. I've tried to educate the British industry. I've challenged British standards. I've challenged the British Channels Management Association. I've challenged the Chartered Institute of Environmental Health. I've challenged the British Occupational Safety and Health organisations. I've challenged the government with their housing health and safety rating system. And they just ignore it. They ignore the issues. I don't know if it's political, I don't know what it is, but I've given up trying to change opinion, and now all I really have got the time for and the effort for is to work with people that want to work with me. Yeah.
They already understand. Are you finding that the internet is helping with that, with the education? People are able to do more research themselves?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't do any advertising at all.
Okay.
You know, I've done exhibitions 20 years ago, 15 years ago on decontamination protocols. I mean, I've invented and designed and adopted loads of decontamination protocols that other people don't use. I'm an importer. This typically tells you one of the Dr. Schumacher's decontamination protocols for fine particle cleaning, that product, which takes microscopic fragments out of the air, and it does it in hours. I've been the European distributor for that for about 4 years, and I've shown all of the major water damage contractors in the UK how this can stop the mould issues in people's homes that's been flooded within hours at low cost, and prevent lots of secondary damage. And I've sold less than 5 gallons in 4 years.
Wow. So I'm presuming there's no like one solution fits all. And is it more household environments, or are you dealing with corporate or agricultural, or what's the average for you?
I deal with the majority of my work on domestic clients. There's a disproportionate amount of foreign clients, usually from Canada, America, Scandinavia countries, where they understand the issues of mould and indoor air quality. But the English people are starting to catch up now, and there's some great nutritionists that's now providing healthcare issues, and they're becoming aware of
it's a very holistic thing for a nutritionist to take in all of the environment and all of the other factors involved. And I guess that's what we're going to be talking about this weekend. So it's because you're coming along, and many other things that may be involved, such as Wi-Fi, for example, and other radiations in the environment that are all around us, that are invisible even. So
well, you're absolutely right, and you've hit the nail on the head. One of the main issues that people look at is they say, oh, I've got mould, I've got black mould. Have I got black mould? Tell me I've got black mould. Sure. And I say to people, look, toxic mould can be white, green, pink.
Really? Okay.
It makes the colour makes no difference.
Yeah.
But the real issue is it isn't just the mould. In a consensus document that I was a part contributor to in the United States, this was with, again, Dr. Schumacher and lots of other doctors like, Dr. Klinghardt, and, there's loads of other people that are looking at it. There are over 30 different contaminants that can affect people's health within a building. These can include just without thinking, volatile organic compounds, mycotoxins, fragments of mycelia, bacteria, endotoxins, glucans. There's loads of different things that can have a synergistic.
All of that's invisible, isn't it?
Well, it is. You can't see this stuff. You have to measure it, and this is why. One of the big issues for me is there's a UK law called the Housing Health and Safety Rating System, 2006. You'll get an environmental health officer come into one of my clients' homes where they can't get out of bed, they're suffering from SIRS, and they can't get out of bed. The environmental health officer comes and says, I can't see any mould. It's all okay. And I say to him, here's my laboratory report that measured microscopic organisms that are making these people sick. Here's the evidence from peer-reviewed papers. And they simply turn around and say, I can't see it, and I'm following the law. So it needs the law to be changed for one thing.
Listen, Jeff, I've realised that we could be talking for an hour here. I want to try and keep this short because it's really just an introduction to the people that are going to come along to the event. So I know you and I could talk about this for a long time. I can see you're on a roll now and I don't want to interrupt you. But I want to keep it short just as an intro so that we can share it online and get people to come along and chat to you. And I think you've given more than a taster of some of your knowledge and your skills. And the right people will know that they want to come and speak to you. So I just want to wrap this up just now and just say thank you for all of that and sharing your knowledge and being there. Is there anything, final word you want to just say when I'm wrapping up, Jeff?
Yes, I'm going to welcome everybody to come along to my booth or my table. I've written some papers just for this conference that I'll be giving away free that will give people an awful lot of information. So, welcome.
Brilliant. Okay, sir, I'll look forward to that. Thank you very much for your input and yeah, have a great weekend.
Thanks very much, Brian. Andrew, bye-bye.
Okay, bye for now.